If anybody wants to be able to donate to the channel or purchase a question, you can find my Cash App, PayPal, and Amazon wish list all in the description box below. And I truly appreciate each and every one of you who does that. It really helps me out more than you guys know. Same with anybody who likes, shares, comments, subscribes, or checks out my other channel and does the same thing. All those things really help me out. And you can find a link for Dee's Storytime in the description box below as well. That's where you can find any of the poetry that I read on this channel. And I figured it's a great way for everybody to be able to access it. And I hope you guys enjoy that. Let's get started with today's message. We have follow your heart, let thoughts take a back seat, no backseat drivers. What are you thinking? 1,000 miles away, always. Try living with it. So you're getting a new chance at being able to release the overthinking, at being able to find peace in some sort of love situation. For most of you, this is going to be a relationship situation, a new relationship coming in that you're going to be betting the table on, basically. And for others of you, this could be just other love situations in your life as well. But you're getting the chance to release all the overthinking and to just allow everything to play out the way it's meant to play out. And it is easier said than done. I have done my own fair share of completely destroying things with overthinking. And it's kind of hard to shut that voice in your brain off. But when you're in a very anxious, nerve-wracked, stressed state like that, you can almost guarantee your intuition is not working today. Nope, that is not intuitive feeling. When you're in a very peaceful, calm state, you can trust the messages that are coming into you. Even if they're messages about bad things, you won't be feeling quite so freaked out about it or paranoid about it or anything like that. You'll just be like, okay, yeah, this is what's happening. So time to really let your thoughts take a back seat and remember that there's no backseat drivers in this situation, whatever it is. There's definitely a new life coming up for you. Maybe even a chance to make peace in a situation that is past as well. For some of you, this person could actually cause you a little bit of fear or anxiety because of who you may think that they are by their appearance in some sort of way. Fun and games, date night. So there could be some fun, some happiness, some joy coming in your dating life. Remember that the truth does hurt, yes, but lies do too. Tell the truth. Even if it's just about the little things. You know, are you enjoying the way that we're doing this? No, I'm not enjoying the way that we're doing this, and I would really like if we could change these couple things and come to a compromise on it. That would be nice. Don't just give in and, yeah, sure, this is fine. No problem. Because then you become that doormat. Hi, beautiful. It does sound good, doesn't it, to be able to do things in a peaceful way? Emotional explosion from repressed emotions. If you've ever had time periods in your life where all of a sudden it just seems like the tiniest thing this person just did irritated the fuck out of you, and you end up exploding at them. Now think about it. How many tiny little things did they do that you never said anything about for so long that it just built up and built up and built up into this big mess? And that's what can happen when you don't tell the truth. That's why lies hurt too. Lies hurt far worse than the truth in my book in so many ways. Not only because it's repressing things that end up coming out later in a worse way, but it's also because when it comes to speaking that truth and being your authentic self, you're allowing somebody to see you for who you really are. And vice versa, you will be seeing them for who they really are when they are being their authentic self. And that is a very hard thing to do, so there's no judgment from me at all for not being your authentic self. Because in this world, it's a very hard thing to do, especially with so many people wearing masks all the time. But that's what will bring the best balance for you, is getting rid of and clearing out any kind of people-pleasing energy and really knowing that the person that you need to please at the end of the day is yourself. That's who you need to make happy at the end of the day. So, in order to make yourself happy and in order to attract people who love you for who you really are, authenticity is key. Expressing your truth, even in the hardest moments of being able to do that, being vulnerable, open, authentic, it can really make you feel like somebody could just slice you to ribbons with all the power you're giving them over you, but you're not giving them power over you. You're taking their power over you away by no longer being afraid to be who you are and by allowing what needs to fall away to fall away. Because if somebody is not liking you for who you authentically are, then that person is not the person that you are meant to be around every day in your life. And vice versa. If you're not liking them for who they authentically are, then you aren't necessarily needing that person in your life on a regular basis, because what's the point of being around people that you don't love for who they are? And what's the point of having to hide half of yourself forever, thinking that there's no one that's ever going to understand you and there's nobody that's ever going to be on the same page as you out there and things like that? The only reason nobody's on the same page is because you aren't showing them the pages of your book. You want people to be able to connect to you emotionally and intimately, then you have to be willing to put yourself out there emotionally and allow people to see who that is, who that person underneath the exterior is. The song Warrior is coming to mind. I can't remember who sings it right at this moment. You reminded me that under this soft exterior lies a warrior. That's part of the lyrics if you wanted to be able to try to find it. I think it might be something Crowley. Not sure, but let's see what else is coming in this message today. Honor roll, be proud, honor roll. I did not read that one. I think I read that one. So you're on a roll right now. You should definitely be proud of yourself for doing things in the way that you see fit, the things that you feel like you should be doing. You're really honoring your own soul, your own morals, your own values. You're honoring yourself at your highest stance right at the moment by slowly dropping the guards and removing the brick wall that you've placed around yourself. You are starting to really open yourself up to the world around you and show more of you. And the world is going to love you, my dear. There's going to always be people who don't. there's always going to be. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how fake you are. It doesn't matter how authentic you are. It doesn't matter if you're somewhere in between. There's always going to be people who love you and people who hate you. That's just the way it is. And if you want to get really technical, buried underneath that hate is love. So, you can even take that and put it in your pocket for later, that those people hating on you, they love you. That's why they're hating on you. You can't hate on nobody if you don't love them. Love is the only thing that can give you enough energy to actually focus on a person to that extent. And since they're hating pieces of themselves that they see inside of you, they're hating you for putting those pieces of yourself out there that they refuse to. Exactly. And love and hate is an extremely fine line. It can bounce back and forth continuously. If I chase, is that going to make you run? Or will you chase a bit too? Wait, if I chased a bit, would it make me run? Or would I return it? It's time to take a step away from fear. Let the chips fall where they may. You know what's a good bet. Now place it. And you know what's really going to help you at this time as well? You know what? For a couple hours a day, just stick your phone on Do Not Disturb. Stick your phone on Do Not Disturb. Don't pay attention to who's messaging you, who's calling you, who you're hearing from, who you're not hearing from. Take that time and do something that you really enjoy doing, even just like an hour a day. Something that you really enjoy doing, especially some sort of artistic expression, is really going to help you at this time to be able to work through any kind of emotions that are coming up and coming out. So painting, sewing, crafting, drawing, photography, cooking, baking, whatever it is that you love doing that allows you to put that kind of energy into it is really going to help to free your mind and bring you peace while you might be going through some of the turmoil of this new beginning that you are making in your life and in your love life right now. Thank you for choosing your higher self. I appreciate it. Even if you were tested, you still passed. You had to face this in this case. There's many, both of us haven't, but that past is where we learned, and it is the reason why we found ourselves. It's what drove us the whole way here. You're a fucking diamond, just as I am. Oh, that is awesome. When I was younger, I used to draw so many pictures of so many different types of clothes. And you know what's funny is I used to draw a lot of clothes with one sleeve or with just a tank top sleeve on one side and then the other sleeve and the bottoms of them crooked and things like that. And everybody's like, well, that's weird clothes. No, it isn't, because everybody's wearing them today. Huh. I love that you're a fashion designer. That's awesome. So, what are diamonds made of? What are diamonds made of? Diamonds are made of coal. Coal, time, pressure. Something so fucking beautifully amazing and unbreakable comes from something that can crumble at a touch and is really nasty and dirty and black and just dark and destructed and destroyed. Oh, and then you come over here and you're this beautiful, flawless, amazing, coveted, unbreakable, beautiful, valuable thing. And it all came from that darkness. Every ounce of that darkness is what created the diamond that you are. And the person that you're coming into contact with, they are the same way. They have a lot of darkness inside of them. It may trigger some of those things inside of you. So remember, when you're seeing their dark side and you're like, oh, I don't like this and I don't trust this and I'm afraid of this, that is inside you too. You would not be seeing it if it was not inside of you. And you're going to have to trust this person to be able to overcome that shadow side. And you're going to have to trust yourself to be able to overcome that shadow side as well. And it's going to take a very long, hard stare into the mirror to be able to do this and to be able to see things clearly, because we are not above anybody else. We are not the beacons of beauty, joy, love, hope, light without that shadow. Everyone has that shadow. And everyone has that light. Even the darkest, most destructed shadow on this earth has some sort of light. No matter how small, and no matter how small of a piece of darkness you have left in you, you still have that darkness in you. And it's a good thing to remember and keep in mind, because when you start denying that shadow, that's when that shadow starts acting up again. So reminding yourself that you have that shadow inside of yourself is the best way to tame that shadow and to direct it and channel it into things that are beneficial for yourself and others around you, because those shadow sides are there for a reason too. Just like anger. If you didn't have anger, there would be no changes made in this world. Nobody would ever change a damn thing. That's why nowadays rape is taken so much more seriously, because people were angry. Without that anger driving it, nobody would have fought so hard to make damn sure that we changed the way that things were. But it's all in how you use it and how you channel it. Unlocked doors. Open up to the new. No more time to feel so blue. Change the music that you feel. It's time now to let go and heal. Crazy times lie ahead. No more time to lie in bed. Get up, get dressed, get outside. So many tears that you have cried. You're ready for something. The rest is really up to you. Take the road of far too few. You can bring yourself back out. I don't have any doubt. Pills and potions ain't the way. Natural herbs, meditate and pray. Sunshine daisies dance in the rain. Only this will soothe your pain. New doors will be unlocked once your heart's no longer blocked. And I just realized that sunshine daisies, it reminded me of Harry Potter. Sunshine daisies, butter mellow, turn this stupid fat rat yellow. It's when they're all on the train on their way to Hogwarts and they're all just meeting each other for the first time and everybody's trying to show the things that they know. And Harry's sitting there like, I don't know anything about any of this whole world. And it didn't matter that he didn't know anything because he was the most powerful one of them all. Sometimes, even if you don't know anything, it's okay to go through this next door because this next chapter is something that you're going to go into much stronger than you think you are because of the things that you've learned in the past. Everything that happened in Harry's past turned him into what he was. He lived in a cupboard under the stairs with a family that treated him like he was the servant of the household. That book was so fucking amazing in my life. It came in at the perfect moment in my life. When my mom's ex-boyfriend went to prison for molesting me, that book is what got me through. While technically it came in shortly before then. I went to foster care for the weekend when he went to prison, and the foster parents knew what was going on, and they figured with everything that was going on, it would be really good if I did something that I really loved that weekend, something that would really help me out. And they knew that I loved the Harry Potter book series, and I had already made it through like book 3 or something like that. And the first Harry Potter movie just came out in theaters, so they took me to see it. And I watched Joan of Arc for the first time that weekend, which was very beneficial as well. We are definitely all warriors. Each and every one of us is a warrior in our own right because of everything that we have been through, every trial, every tribulation that we have faced. Whether it be in a real war or the wars of our life. At this point, they have decided that PTSD in abuse survivors, it's exactly the same thing as PTSD in war survivors. So you're really going through the same thing, just in a different way. You are a warrior that has been created through time. Temperance, with the Temperance card in tarot. Basically, the original Temperance card, it's all about a blacksmith in his forge. He heats this weapon up and pounds on it and then cools it off. And then heats this weapon up and pounds on it and cools it off. And heats this weapon up and pounds on it and cools it off. The more times that he does that, the better this weapon will be. The more effort put in, the more time, the more extremes that it endures like that, the better this weapon will be. So, the more amount of crap and hardship and strife and abuse and whatever else that you have faced throughout your life, that doesn't make you worse of a person, less of a person. It doesn't make you any lower than anyone else. In fact, it brings you up and it hones you into a more finely tuned and well-oiled instrument for success in your life. Because if you had never been through any hardship at all, do you think you would have made it through the hardship it takes to get to success? No. So, let's see what else our guides have to say today. There is definitely a lot of new relationships going on in the collective right now. And really finally being able to go in with a lot more temperance than things have been going in the past. Follow the moon. Know you belong. Nurture all you love. There's also a lot of unmasking yourself and being who you are. Knowing that you belong is very important for this, because all you have to do is look at this channel. If you feel like you resonate with me and the messages that I bring, look how many other people are resonating with me and the messages I bring. Look how many of us there are out there that are like that. We are a very rare breed indeed, which is why it's taking so long for my channel to grow. But we are fucking amazing. And we do belong in this world. We're here to make a difference in this world. We're here to do something in this world. When I was 14 years old and I spent a lot of time with a knife on my wrist, I spent a lot of time wanting to be out of this world, just wanting to fucking go home. Sick already of the massive pain and trauma that I had dealt with and gone through from birth on up. That's all I can say, birth on up. It started when I was born. It wasn't something that just came upon me one day all of a sudden when I was 10 years old. No, I already long knew about those kind of demons before that man stepped into my life because I had seen a lot of it already. I spent a lot of time wanting to be out of this place. One of my favorite songs at that time was, "Cut my life into pieces, this is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing, don't give a fuck if I cut my arm bleeding." And there is a time and place for that kind of thing. Every emotion is important. A lot of the reason that I didn't is because, I knew my mom would blame herself. And she'd hold on to that to the day she died. She just would. It would be, and she would never tell anybody she blamed herself. Ever, ever. No, far too much pride for that. But she would blame herself, and she would carry that with her forever. Another reason I didn't, though, is because what if we do have to come back and relive this life if we didn't learn the lessons that we were supposed to? And there is no fucking way I am ever coming back to this life to do these lessons again. So I'm going to learn every fucking thing I need to learn so I can make it out of here, because I ain't coming back for this again. It really is. It's a fight when it comes to that. I'm not sorry you had to go through that. I'm not sorry I had to go through that. That sounds really horrible and awful and mean, but that's not what I mean by that. People apologize to me all the time for everything that I've had to go through, and I'm like, I'm not sorry for it. I wouldn't change it for the world. You could offer me fucking a golden platter on a plate from the time I was born till the time I died, and I wouldn't change it for the world, because I wouldn't be who I am today, and I wouldn't be here doing the things that I'm doing today. So I'm not sorry for what I went through. Would I want to go through it again? No. Nope. But I'm not sorry for it. I know you do, because you've been through the same. And you are definitely a warrior as well. And then the other reason was because I wanted to be able to heal so that I could help others to heal as well. I wanted to be able to be there for others in their time of need, the way that I had small little glimmers of light come through my life and be there for me in my time of need. Be careful what you wish for, because I also spent a lot of time, everybody comes into my life, gets what they need, and then they're gone. And everybody comes into my life, gets what they need, and then they're gone. And it's really hard when it comes to that to believe that you could have lasting connections. I agree. Exactly right. I haven't taken any of the classes, but I have mastered my own Reiki, and I work with a lot of other people energetically in that way as well. I do it in a different way, I think, than most people. It's kind of like shamanism is the closest thing to what I can really describe myself as, a shaman. And actually, I have met somebody else who has learned all those things throughout his life as well. And he's like, wow, we think about a lot of these things very similarly. And I was like, yeah, I learned it all on my own. I didn't have, like people behind me telling me all the lessons handed down through time from our ancestors or anything. But, all of us at one point were tribal people of some sort. And all of us at one point believed in that before we started paying the pharmaceutical companies and doctors to do fucked up shit to us. Just think about how that one started with the leeches and the draining people of their blood and all that kind of shit. And they completely just threw plants to the wind because those are witches. Yeah. I could go on that topic for hours. Apparently there's a reason this stuff needs to be mentioned today. So, and we did get a little off course from some of the other stuff we were talking about, but nurturing all of the aspects of yourself and the world around you that you love, really being able to show your care, which can be kind of hard after a lot of that trauma as well. I can understand that. Yep. Anybody can access it at any time. And that's what I tell people all the time when they're like, I don't have the money for this, but, I could really use to learn this kind of stuff. Well, it's everywhere. Everywhere. You can find it for free. You can delve into it and you can learn it. It takes longer. So it is worth paying to have somebody show you. But at the same time, you can find all of that out on your own. I've been studying Reiki myself for about 7 years now, and spirituality for about the same. And it's been about 18, 19 years that I've been studying psychology on my own, not in a school, but school or not, I've dedicated my life to this, so I'm doing good. You can find my Cash App or PayPal in the description box below. Send me payment and post your question, and I will answer it. That came out very horribly. I still have some things surrounding that at times. Anyway, let's see what other messages are going to be coming out today. Whoever is there, what do you have to say to me? Fun, friendship, fears of lies, and third party. Someone was fighting for themselves, but it was a hollow victory. Having fun will ease your fears enough to listen to your intuition. So in the past relationships that you've had, there was definitely a lot of things that are causing some trust issues right now, some triggers to be pulled up in whatever new situations you're going into. Try to have fun and keep things in a very lighthearted energy. Try to just laugh it off. If you're out in public with this person and there's people that are sending this nasty negative energy towards you, because that happens a lot in my life over here, laugh it off. I don't need that shit, and I'm going to just be in my fucking energy. I'm going to enjoy my night regardless of what you guys want to be doing over there. And you know what? That energy is contagious too. It's just as contagious as that negative energy. So pretty soon, everybody around you is going to be having that same level of fun instead of being in that bitter, nasty energy like that. Allow people in to help. You will feel better. Love yourself completely. Follow your intuition forward. You have the communication skills to leave this fight behind and to be able to bring peace. Share what you have to say with others. No longer be defensive. Share your knowledge with your kids. Say you're sorry. You didn't want them to go through what you had to go through, but if she wants to believe or learn about what you believe in, you can still teach them. It's their choice. Your abundance is coming in. Your struggle will end. You can see the lies, know this, and you can also see the truth. People are coming to you. Clients are coming in. Opportunities are coming in. Relationships are coming in. Clarity is coming in as well. You are amazing. Others see this. Some are jealous, but others will want to learn, and they know that they need to. Your gifts will spread far and wide, and have already in some ways. Recognition is coming in and will speed up. Be ready for it. And then you will be on top. Remember to be humble. Be kind and caring in your leadership role. You've seen others take advantage of their positions. Remember not to follow that path. Instead, be kind and generous as a leader. Show them how to do it as well. So anybody that is behind you, watching your growth, watching you succeed, watching you come out of all of the pain and turmoil and come out on top, they are being inspired right now to be able to make the same changes in their life. And they're being given the roadmap on how to do it by watching you. Don't feel like you have to hide all the things that you're doing, because in hiding yourself, you also hide the recognition that could be coming in, the success that could be coming in, the opportunities that could be finding you. When you put yourself out there without that fear and without that worry and without feeling like everything's just going to fall apart and crumble, or everybody's going to be so upset that it's going to ruin everything you're working on, or evil eye is going to be coming at you and it's going to be destroying everything. Work on your energy. Cleanse, clear, heal, protect, burn sage on a regular basis. Whatever it is, prayer, meditation, time in nature, artwork, whatever it is that brings you that peace, that brings you that joy, that brings you that stability. Make sure that you're making time for those things. Make sure that you are taking action to do those things. In every piece of artwork, everyone sees something different. You could be feeling like there's a lot of eyes on you, and a lot of those eyes that are on you are not so friendly. Don't focus on that. Don't allow that to cause you confusion or to distract you from your goals or your purpose. Remember that you are the only person who has the capability to determine your confidence level, your stability, your strength, how inspired you are. If you're not feeling inspired, find some new people to be around. Find some new topics of conversation. Find some new research you can do about things that you enjoy. Find some new artwork that you can delve into, or a new way to creatively express yourself, or go out and have some fun. Go shopping or go swimming or hiking. I could see that. A young dragon. You're definitely going to be coming into a lot more optimism and hope than you've had in the past. And a lot of that is because your heart is opening up more and freeing itself from the trauma and the pain.
Power off.
You're also learning more how to express yourself at a deeper level and how to feel like you're safe in doing that. Because you are safe in doing that. There's a lot of people that will tell you to hide everything. When you feel like you have to hide everything, it puts you in that paranoid energy, that fearful energy, that anxiety-filled energy and fueled energy. So all the actions you're taking when you're in that energy are very low vibrational, whether we like to admit it to ourselves or not. It's very low vibrational actions, and those actions unintentionally hurt the people around us. So it's time to take control of your life back now, because your life may have felt like it's been in such shambles and disrepair that it's just been crazy and so hard to see and so hard to understand everything that's going on around you or coming at you. And the only person that can change that is you. By taking time to work on yourself, by taking time to make sure that even when you're adding new connections to your life, you're still taking time for that nice hot bath when you need to, or that nice long walk at night to just get in touch with your intuition and calm your soul, your mind, your body, your spirit. And nighttime's a really good time to do that because there's not much energy around you when you're out at night, depending on where you're at. I mean, you can find the people who are awake at night if you want to. And some of those nights are good for the soul too. I just started. I will be going for about another hour and a half still. And if you do miss it, I will be back on here next Thursday, as well as I have personal readings you can find in my description box below as well. All the way through tonight, my mini read is on sale for $20. You're welcome. Everyone has things that they are good at. Everyone has ways in which they are intelligent, no matter the walk of life or the things that they have been through or made do with. When you walk into places that you never thought that you would, and you go around people that you were never around before, you gain new perspectives. So, like I said, if you're feeling uninspired by life, then take a risk, take a chance to be around some people that you thought you may never even talk to in your life. And why did you think you never would talk to those people? Is there some sort of judgment there stopping you from being able to interact with people of different cultures or people of different perspectives or different walks of life or people living in a different position than you currently? And why is that? You can find the dirtiest, nastiest looking, scowl on his face, living in the gutter person in this world, and they can offer you more wisdom than the person dressed in the finest suit that you will ever meet. Some of those people have some fucking amazing stories and some beautiful wisdom to share with you if only people would stop judging and sit down to listen. Plus, you make them feel like they're a human again, like they're seen again, like they're loved and cared about in the darkest time of their fucking life. Somebody came in and shone a light and gave them hope. just by sitting down and having a conversation with them and not looking through them like every other 5,000 people that just walked past them on the side of the street. And that sitting down and talking with them is worth more than all the money in the world that you could ever offer them. I've done a lot of it the last couple of years. I've been one of them the last couple of years. And I've seen a lot of the people that have walked past it, or the people who have tried to do things like, oh, what would you do for a pack of cigarettes, because they saw me collecting butts out of the ashtray. Not a fucking thing, motherfucker. Not a fucking thing. And that's where that anger comes in handy. Because if it wasn't for my anger, maybe I would have. But I was so fucking pissed off at the disrespect and the fucking bullshit of taking advantage of somebody in that fucking position. That is ridiculous. Ridiculous. To me, that is something that stirs my anger very deeply. And that stirred my anger long before I was one myself anyway. Mostly because my mom worked as a cocktail waitress when I was younger. Hi, Rashima. And she had a lot of people that assumed just because she was a cocktail waitress, she was for sale. And so there was one guy one night that actually stuck a room key and $300 in her hand and told her to come up later. And she really thought about just pocketing that fucking $300 and walking away from that situation. But she's like, no, you know what? I'm not coming up to your room. Here's your $300 back. No, I don't work that way. And he's like, you know what? Keep the $300. Even if you don't come, I don't care. You might change your mind later. She kept $300, but you know, there's a lot of people that just assume things about people based on their position in life. Are you assuming things about other people based on their position? And if so, it's time to branch out and to maybe say hi to one of those people and see if maybe you misjudged the situation. It also helps you to learn better discernment and pinpoint when it's your intuition and when it's other things when you do stuff like that. You can still walk away at any time. Exactly. Let that thought sink in and bring you peace. That also means that they can choose that as well. Sometimes, as painful as it is for both parties, that's what's best. Sometimes the demons just don't play right together, and sometimes they do. So, everyone has their own shadow side, as we've been talking about a lot in this reading. And when it comes to creating new relationships or stepping into new situations, everyone has their demons. That's also why it's so important to be authentic going in, to be able to face your mirror, to be able to be self-aware about some of the weaknesses you have and some of the strengths that you have, and for you to be feeling comfortable to share those things with the other person. And you can't feel comfortable to share those things with the other person when you're worried about losing them and when you're focused on that. You don't even know this person at this point. And if you do lose them, you lose them. You were fine when they got here. You'll be fine when they're gone. And at any time, either one of you can choose to leave, which can be scary. But instead of allowing that to fuel your fear, allow that to fuel your belief and allow that to give you the courage to take a chance and take a risk and to bring you peace, because that means you can leave too. If this is a bad situation, I'm not committed for life just because I chose to try to work something out with you. I can walk away at any time, and that's okay. But that means this person can too, and you have to be okay with that as well. I got your payment, KM. When you're ready, let me know. I just got it. And after this last message, and when you post the question, I will answer that question. You're welcome, sweetheart. Thank you as well. The hate in your heart is overflowing onto everyone around you. Love yourself more so that you don't hate all the pieces of you in others. What you are repressing, it's time to face the mirror and really see it. We all have shadows. Wow, that came out right at this moment. Let go of the shadows left by others. No more fear and no more hate. So, it's time to really see yourself, and it's time to really see others. and to allow the hate to fall away so that you can love yourself and yourself that you see in others. Even the bad parts. The bad parts of you are parts of you too. And they deserve love too. What does any bad child want? When you're dealing with a bad child, what do they want? They want love. At the core of it, they want love. They're acting out for a reason. So when you don't love yourself, it's the same thing. You end up acting out and lashing out on others around you. And you also end up accepting things from others around you that are not okay because you don't love yourself enough to be able to stand up and say, hey, this is not okay, and I'm not going to put up with this fucking bullshit. Excuse me, but no. And you don't always have to start it at that level, but if you've already told somebody, it needs to go to that level. And then if they're still not listening and taking you seriously, then it needs to go to the level of, I walk out this door because fuck this shit. I don't need this in my life. If my life is less peaceful with you in it, I don't want you in it. I'm not so stuck on you that I'm going to keep you around even when it's draining me and destroying everything I am. I'm going to move forward. Nothing is actually working for you. You're feeling very stuck in a messy situation. What are you doing wrong? So, the first thing that comes to mind with that, you're not doing anything wrong. You're meant to be right here where you are right now. And you just have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with everything about yourself and your life exactly as it is. Everything is working in your favor every second of every day. Even karma is something that works in our favor. When karma comes in, that is a moment to learn. It's not a punishment per se, it is a punishment. But I mean, when you're teaching your kids, how do you teach them? Through whatever punishment methods that you're teaching them through. And technically, I tried to make mine, this is not a punishment. We need some space and some time for a minute. You need to sit in your room and you need to cool off, and I need to go cool off. And then we can come back and talk about this and talk it through. So it makes it less of a punishment and more of a, what can we learn from this experience and how can we handle it better next time? And that is what you need to focus on, is what's going on in your life right now that you feel is so wrong. And what is there that you can do about it, and what is there that you can't? And yes, prayers are an awesome way to go about it, but also being able to have faith and surrender that your prayers will be answered. And also putting in your work as well. I don't know if you've ever seen Where the Red Fern Grows, but I was talking about this the other day. When he talks to his grandfather about how much he wants a dog, but he's never going to have a dog. And he's been praying for it and praying for it and praying for it, but why isn't God answering his prayers? Why isn't this dog coming in? And he's like, well, have you met God halfway? And he's like, what do you mean? And he tells him, it's not just about prayer. You got to put in that work too. And know and trust that through faith and persistence and dedication and patience and trust that everything that you're working towards will come back to you, because they wouldn't have you work towards something without something coming back in for it. Then it will come true. And that kid managed to work his ass off and make enough money to get 2 hunting dogs. But it came not just from the prayers, but also from hard work. So let's see what messages are coming out for you. You are smarter than you think, more beautiful than you know. It's time to spread your wings and to fly. Leave behind any doubt. Know that you can do this. And when one door closes, another one opens. Amidst the stars, you will rise. So you may be keeping some doors open in your life that need to be closed at this time. It's really time to believe in yourself, to be able to move away from whatever stuck, stagnant situations are going on, and to know that new ones will come in, better ones, new opportunities, better opportunities, things like that. A couple of years ago, when I was first moving into my RV and out of my ex's place and was doing this channel, I did actually look for a job. I put in fucking application after application after application after application. Nobody in this town would hire me because I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. And stay-at-home moms apparently are worthless according to people hiring people. And so I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was a chauffeur. I was a financial advisor and took care of all the finances. I was a waitress. I was a cook. I was a fucking everything. A chauffeur. I was everything. What are you talking about? That means nothing. It means everything. But I wasn't getting a job for a reason. And they were trying to tell me that I wasn't even supposed to be looking for a job because I was wasting my fucking time and energy on that and stressing over my money and how I was going to make it when they were going to take care of me through it all. And guess what? I'm still here today. Going through a winter with no heat, going through 2 summers with no air conditioning. I have air conditioning right now, which is really nice. I'm very excited about that and happy with it. But I went through a lot and I wasn't being punished. I was working towards my dreams and accomplishing them. And I had to show that I really wanted them. I had to show that commitment to what I was working on. And I had to learn a lot along the way too, because I asked to be a better healer than I was, which means, guess what? Now you got to go through more shit to get to the point of being a better healer than you were. Because how do you learn and how do you gain that wisdom? Wisdom's different than knowledge. Knowledge you can pick up from any book out there, any internet search, any YouTube video. Knowledge or wisdom is different. Wisdom is accumulated through your life and the lessons in it. And the more lessons that you have, the more that you are meant to make an impact on this world. Guards are around you now. They are protecting you. Have faith and let go of control. What you need will come to you through your prayers, faith, and letting go, knowing that you will be provided for. Sometimes want and need are 2 very different things. Make sure that you are grateful for receiving all that you need. Gratitude breeds abundance. So also taking a moment every day to go, my life isn't shit. Look what I have in front of me. Wow, I have food to eat today. Wow, I have the ability to take a shower. I have a bed to sleep in. Wow, there's animals all around me and they're so beautiful and I can just watch them play. All of those things are things to be grateful for. For the river that you can go to and visit, or the park that you have, or the people that you come into contact with each day. The ones that smile at you and go, hey, how you doing? And acknowledge your presence. That make you feel like, oh yeah, I'm not alone in this world. Even in the most desolate, lonely, harsh times, you can find some sort of light around you. Hold on to that light and know that that light will grow bigger as you do. As I'm talking about that light growing bigger. I can fully understand that. And you know what? It doesn't matter if you get upset about it either. Because here's the thing. Do you know how many times I have screamed at the divine beings, my angels, my ancestors, and fucking told them just how much I think of their bullshit and antics and their sense of humor. Your sense of humor is a very warped and twisted thing, you know that? And it doesn't matter, they love you. They love you unconditionally. And sometimes you need to scream that at them to just get it out and off your chest and to really change things inside of you. Because now you have let that go, you've said it, you've put it out there. You're not trying to hold it back. You're not trying to pretend like everything is okay every second of every day and you're fine with the bare minimum. Even if you are fine with the bare minimum, that doesn't mean you deserve the bare minimum, and you do deserve more. And telling somebody about it can feel really fucking good sometimes. And it can really make you believe it too and boost your confidence on that. Sometimes you have to fight for what you want. Definitely being able to be adaptable and flexible, to go with the flow and allow the winds to blow where they're going to blow. When it comes to like sailing or something, you know, you never know which way the wind's going to blow, and you're kind of at the mercy of the wind. You're kind of at the mercy of the weather too. It takes a very big leap of faith to be able to do something like that. And to be able to allow your life to just unfold naturally is a very big leap of faith, but that's what you're being asked to do right now, is take that leap. And you may feel a lot of aggression coming towards you or fights coming towards you because of whatever you're working on being a little bit in the realm of the taboo, where not everybody thinks it's a good thing, and that's okay too. Continue to work. Know that the obstacles that you're facing right now are stepping stones in the right direction. They're also showing you how to see things in less of a black and white way and more of a gray zone, because there isn't just good and evil. Everyone is good and evil, every single being. So no, you're not just an evil person who's being punished and tormented for the deeds you've done in the past. You're just a person. You have both light and shadow inside of you, and sometimes light shines from you and sometimes shadow eclipses from you. Both are important for something, because all those people who've come into your life to bring shadow, they were important for something too. They are here for something too. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't even be able to see the light. If it wasn't for us, we wouldn't be able to see the light. And the way to see more light inside of yourself right now would be to accept that shadow and to not hate it or fear it or feel like you're being punished for it, to embrace it and know that you do have some weaknesses to work on, and work on those weaknesses until they become strengths. And the only way to do that is by facing the mirror. So that's what I have for that question. Before we get back into the collective reading, thank you. Before we get back into the collective reading, if anybody wants to be able to donate or purchase a question, you can find my Cash App, PayPal, and Amazon wish list in the description box below. Thank you ahead of time. Or if anybody wants to be able to find my poems, they're actually on my other channel, StoryTime, and you can find that in the description box below as well. So what other messages do our guides have for us today? New life. Another life, another face, searching for another place. In the past we might have known, from the coop we might have flown. Now it's new from the start. Putting together is an art, reaching back through time and space. Patterns as intricate as the finest lace. Seeing truth in every look. Confidence that was took. Lies before us now will flee. Truth is something that all will see. 7/27/22. So it's time now for a new life to start out for you. In the past, making breakup an art could have been something very ongoing and a cycle that could have kept repeating. Whether it's in a relationship or with other people, breaking it up and letting it go and tearing it down and not wanting to be closely connected to anybody because of the pain, the hurt, the hardship of the past. You could have went through something that really hurt you and tore your heart out and made you feel like anything else was just going to be more of the same. And you could have overreacted when triggers presented themselves in some sort of way and self-sabotaged a lot of things for yourself. But you did this for a reason too. Everything that happens for a reason, and you went through all the things that you went through so that you find yourself at the position you're in now, where instead of everything breaking apart being an art that you're taking part in, putting things together is going to be an art form too. And you're really going to be picking up on the ways that you can do this. You're going to feel very dedicated to it. You're going to really feel like you're ready to put in the time, the effort, the work, and the energy. And you're no longer worried about or focused on whether or not it's going to come to an end and it's going to be a waste of time, because nothing is a waste of time. You're starting to see that nothing is a waste of time, even the hurt, the pain, and the hardship that you went through, because it brought you to where you are now. Peace can be found. Peace isn't at the end of the road. Peace is found when you drop that load. It's time to unpack that heavy weight. Time to repair the broken plate. Cracks of gold shine so bright. Hope shines through in the darkest of night. Seeing things from a new view. I know you can get there too. No more hurt, no more pain. All that's left is cleansing rain. So, when you're feeling that hurt, when you're feeling that pain, you have learned, or you will soon be learning, how to express it, how to let it out instead of letting it fester and bubble underneath. Taking the time out to acknowledge your emotions and to release them when they come up is a very important part of this step going forward, because it will allow you to not be carrying it around with you constantly. You know, bipolar is such a funny thing. Everybody's like, oh, how are you happy one minute and then mad the next, and then happy again, and then depressed, and then this, and then that, and then this, and then that. How are you still holding on to your shit a year later? Because you know what? I got rid of that the day it happened. And I used to actually be more like that, and I've been more like that lately. But I did get into a couple year period there where it was really hard to let go of any of it. And that's what they want you to think is normal, which is funny. To me, normal is not carrying all of that around on my shoulders, because I can't do what I do every day with all of that weighing me down. So taking care of myself to take care of the things that I feel is important is very important for me. And it is for you too. Making sure that you're taking time for you when you need it, space for you when you need it, making sure you're encouraging others to do that as well, because not everybody's going to feel safe and comfortable in doing that, because in the past they may have tried to take that time and space from the people that they loved, and those people got upset or insecure or angry or whatever the case may be. So they're feeling like they can't do that, or you're feeling like you can't do that, but you can do that. And that's the best way to enter a relationship, because that is authentically you. Authentically you is not burying everything that you are for another person, and not taking the time you need for you, not being honest about what is necessary, not being honest about what your boundaries are, or what you enjoy or what you don't enjoy. This rough patch has been hard to go through. Know that you got this, and it won't last forever. Soon things will turn around. Look around, and what do you see? Problems may be everywhere, but solutions are too. So is a lot to be grateful for. Water and fertilize your lawn. Make it green. It's hard to do with so much going on, but it's so worth it. The better you feel, the better you do. So do better for you so that you can do better with the other things too. So, a lot of people will try to convince you that it's narcissistic to take care of yourself. There's a difference between taking care of yourself and selfishness. There's a difference between self-love and selfishness. Selfishness is having so much all around you every day and seeing people without, but not being willing to give a little because you need it all for yourself, even though you have far more than you'll ever use. That's more selfishness. Self-love is making sure to have enough for yourself before giving everything away, making sure to do the things that are necessary for your mental and emotional health, like getting outside and getting fresh air and sunlight, making sure to bathe regularly, making sure to get dressed in the morning when you wake up, making sure to stay in your jammies on the mornings that you need to, making sure to cry when you feel like crying. That is self-love too. Doing all those things that everybody thinks you shouldn't be doing because you should be so happy all day, every day. No, you're going to have moments that you're hurting or that you're upset. And letting people know, hey, this isn't about you, this is about me, I'm just hurting and I'm upset right now. That's always a good thing too. But ultimately, how other people are feeling about it is on them. And you just need to make sure to focus on you and what you're feeling. Storm clouds are brewing. A test is coming. Have you learned to dance in the rain yet? There's no time like the present. Your attitude is what you make it. You can't control what happens, only how you respond to it. Deal with your emotions and try to focus on the good things. The stars in that nighttime sky that remind you that the light isn't gone, hope is found within them and within you. There's a song that has something to do with the stars in the night sky. And you know what? If you don't know what that song is, I don't know what that song is. So whatever song it makes you think of, that's the song. I hope your dancing just came through too. And Dancing in the Sky. Dancing in the Sky is such a beautiful song. I just found a remix of it recently where there's actually a response from the person in heaven. That one was pretty cool. So there is a remix of that song if anybody's interested in listening to it. Someday I hope you get the chance to live like you were dying. So if you were dying tomorrow, and let's say you were dying tomorrow and wow, I can come up with some really bad scenarios, but I don't want to use those scenarios. And the worst things imaginable were happening to you today. And you sat there all day focused on those worst things imaginable. How would you feel about that? I mean, you could choose to focus on the best things that are going on. You could choose to go, shit, this is happening. You know what? I'm going to come back to it here in a minute. Right now, I'm going to go do something fun because this is going to help me deal with this so much better. Because it does too. Or getting that good night's sleep instead of feeling like you're missing out on everything and there isn't enough hours in the day. Get that good night's sleep because it'll make the hours in your day so much more productive and so much better organized. And you'll have so much better energy while you're doing everything that you need to do that you feel like you don't have enough hours for. You have enough hours for it, but only if you take enough hours for yourself too. Open your mind to the possibilities around you. All you desire is in your power to create. You have all the skills and the tools at your disposal. Trust in your abilities. Open your mind and your heart to receive. Drop your guard a bit. You might be surprised with what you find inside of yourself and in others, because you may find very different things once you're able to drop that guard a bit. You may find that some of the ways that you reacted in past situations was because you were worried about protecting yourself instead of loving the people in front of you, or vice versa. You may realize that a lot of the scenarios that happened in your past could have happened because the person around you was focused on protecting themselves instead of loving the people in front of them while they had the chance. The Ten of Cups, Queen of Cups, and the High Priestess. You know that you are deserving of happiness and joy, that you are deserving of somebody who's emotionally supportive, caring, loving, empathetic, kind, compassionate, because you are that yourself. You deserve to have that in return. And all it takes is for you to step into your true self, because you haven't been living in that energy for a while. You've been living in the energy of protect that person because that person's dumb, that person's naive, that person's gullible, that person is going to get you hurt, that person is the reason why all these bad things happened. So you've been blaming yourself and the emotions that you have in that giant fucking heart that is so beautiful and amazing, instead of going, no, I offer a lot of love and I deserve to receive a lot of love. And so some of the people that you could have been calling in at the time were people that were not willing to give very much love because you were not willing to give very much love. Because maybe you gave a whole lot of love to somebody who gave a whole lot of love to you in the past, and maybe it all fell apart. Or maybe you gave a whole lot of love to somebody that didn't give a whole lot of love to you, that didn't return it in the same way. And so now you felt like it was wasted, but it wasn't wasted. It's never wasted. You also learned to stand up and defend yourself, to protect your boundaries, to speak your truth. But now it's time to balance that out between heart and mind and allow in this new energy of open receptivity to love coming into you, to concern coming in, to care and compassion coming in. You may have even yelled at a few people who were only trying to love you, who were worried about you, who cared about you because of the hurt and pain you were feeling. There's definitely a lot of joy, happiness, abundance, love, and light coming into your life, but it starts with you. It starts with allowing yourself to let out those emotions you've been repressing and then to say goodbye and let go of them so that you can be open and receptive again to good things coming into you, to good things happening to you, and to really be able to believe in that. We are not meant to know every single detail of everything going on in our lives, or else we would never do half the things that we do, but we had to do them to get to where we are. So you're not going to know everything. Your triggers are going to be tested. Your faith is going to be tested. Your commitment is going to be tested. How bad do you want this? Is this something that you're willing to work for? And also you're going to be testing the other person. Is this something they're willing to work for? Is this something that they want that badly enough? Is this something that they can do? And those are good things to do. That's what's nice about going into something authentically. Lies hurt, but truth hurts, but lies hurt worse. And even something as simple as not setting an appropriate boundary is a lie deep down when you really look at it. And 10 years later, when that person's like, wait a second, you never used to mind when I did this, you only have yourself to blame because for years, you didn't tell them that you minded. And now it's become a big thing. Penguin. The pebble and the penguin just came to my mind right before I flipped that card over to you. Reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations and just be yourself. Just be you, because you is beautiful. Owl magic. Choose to know the truth because you can. Open your inner vision. You can see through the deception. Let the past go and make room for a better life. Rise up. Magic and wisdom are your birthright. And when it comes to other people, no, I really didn't mind that. And you see it, call them on it. Don't fucking do that shit. Don't do that. You did too mind that. Say it. If you mind it, say it. How am I supposed to know if you don't say it? Don't you want somebody who loves you for who you are? Because you can only do that if you express it. So if you're seeing that in another person, let them know that it's okay to be themselves too. You were born to create. Stay strong. You were born to create this joy, this happiness, this love in your life and the lives of others. You were born to create something beautiful and strong and long-lasting, something very emotionally connected, very intimately connected. If you want to bring love and light to the world, it has to start at home in your own house with you and your connections and relationships. What love is found there? And have you been throwing away love a lot because of the pain of the past, or have you been learning how to heal and learning how to accept that in? Sometimes it can be really hard to accept that love in after the hurt has taken place. So in between messages, if anybody wants to be able to donate, you can find my Cash App, PayPal, Amazon wish list in the description box below. Same thing if you want to be able to purchase a question. And anybody who does that, thank you so much for that. It really does help me out far more than you guys know. So does liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing on this channel or my other one, which you can find the link for in the description box too. Let's see what else our guides want to talk about today. I'm freeing myself more every day in so many ways. I don't worry so much about the ones I haven't yet. Affirmations can help so much. When you start getting hard on yourself, start to think of all the ways that you are doing so good. You are an amazing person in so many ways. Take your power back. Don't seek validation from the outside of all that you are that you of all that you are inside. See those beautiful things and don't let anyone make you feel like you need their approval of who you are. Just be you, the amazing you that your higher self wants you to see. And be okay with you exactly as you are today. That is a part of accepting our shadow, is being able to accept ourselves exactly as we are today. Are there improvements we want to make? Of course there is. There's always improvements that we want to make. But that doesn't mean that we're not beautiful exactly the way we are right this moment. Fucking amazingly beautiful. Apparently this week, that has been my favorite word. I have been on a roll with fucking. It's been that kind of week this week. Surviving is not thriving. How are you in survival mode? Leave it. Take a leap and reap the rewards. Surrender where it's going or why. Surrender the need to know. Throw the game to get the win. When you are so focused on winning and losing, you don't even enjoy the journey. And a lot of times you end up with a very hollow victory or loss. Learn to enjoy now. Live in the moment. Live in the moment while slowly and steadily working for later rewards with patience and faith. You got to give to get. Surrender and watch others do the same. So, it's time now for you to lead the way. To lead the way with your surrender so that others can surrender more fully as well and feel safe in doing so. You also might notice that as you do that, they do it in other ways too. That helps you to do it even more. And it plays off each other. That energy spreads. The fear, the negativity, the anxiety, that energy spreads, or the love, peace, and trust spreads. Which one do you want to be spreading? When you start to fall down that rabbit hole, remind yourself, hey, what am I manifesting today? What do I want to manifest today? Manifest that shit. Don't continue to manifest the same fear, anxiety, lack, things like that, but manifest from a higher perspective of, even if you can't see it, everything could be fucking beautiful. So imagine the most beautiful scenario in your head. And even if it doesn't turn out perfectly, be okay with that. But also, you are imagining good things, amazing things, wonderful things. And that is raising your vibration. It's making you a happier person, a healthier person, a more peaceful person, a more loving person, a more intuitive person. And all of those things are building you up to a very high vibrational level where you're able to manifest from that highest state of being. Blessings are pouring in for all of your hard work. Let go of the outcome and allow things to unfold how they do. All is working for you at this time, and at all times, even the bad stuff. It leads you to where you are meant to go, if you choose to follow it. You are on your way up and out of the darkness as you leave behind the past and notice how you'll be able to see how far you've really come without even noticing. Things are coming out now and all will be revealed. So will the way that you have handled everything you've been going through. It's time for you to fully embrace that everything bad that has happened created you, and you are fucking amazing. A diamond. A diamond whose shine nobody could ever dim. Or that's what you could be if you choose to believe it and tell yourself that every single day. When you tell yourself that every day, that's who you become. You become the person that you tell yourself you're going to be. And I know you're thinking, wait a second, nobody else thinks I can be that. It doesn't matter. Everybody else tells me the opposite. It doesn't matter. If you follow suit with them and you tell yourself, oh, I'm just a worthless piece of shit and I'm never going to amount to anything and everything I try is going to fail, like my parents, my mom, can't blame my dad on that one, filled my head with as a kid. If you tell yourself that every day, which it becomes your inner monologue. When you have a parent like that, it becomes your inner monologue. But the only person that can change that is you, and you can work on changing it today. Tell yourself every day, I am amazing, I am beautiful, I am wonderful, I am skilled. Everything that I'm working on is going to be a success. Even if no one else sees it, I'm perfectly fine with that because all I need is my own recognition and validation. I don't need any validation from the outside. I'm a beautiful person. I am somebody. I am not nothing. Good song by Beth something, possibly. I'm really not sure. Could be Beth Crowley. I don't know. I think I'm mixing up two people. But I Am Not Nothing is a great song because you need to remind yourself every day that I am not nothing. Doesn't matter what you told me. Doesn't matter how people treated me. Doesn't matter what happened in my life. I am not nothing. I am something. I am something. Remind yourself of that every day, over and over and over again. When you make a mistake and you're like, ah, that was so stupid, and you get really frustrated with yourself, stop yourself and be like, no, that wasn't stupid. I was human. I'm a human. Humans do shit like that. We do it every day. And we're going to be doing it every day, and that's okay. How do we learn? We learn from making mistakes. Or we learn from other things. I have really, really good reflexes, extremely good reflexes, extremely good. The reason I have extremely good reflexes is because my mom used to throw a lot of shit at me across the house on a pretty all the time basis. You learn how to move, and you learn how to move quick, and you learn how to move quick even when you didn't know something was coming, but you knew it was coming because your instincts kicked in. Everything you've been through have built your instincts, have built your intuition, have built your reflexes. Sometimes those reflexes go into a very extreme manner, like the fact that I used to absolutely hate anybody coming up and standing behind me, like right next to me behind me. Fucking hated it because I had a lot of PTSD. And so anytime anybody was even coming near me, I can feel them coming, and I would shift sideways in the line if I was in a line so that they weren't right behind me and I could see what was going on. Things like that. But that's your reflexes, that's your instincts, that's your intuition. That's those things being built up like that. I now, thank God, am not constantly on edge like that where anybody that comes up behind me, it just fucking drives me crazy to have them standing right behind me. Every once in a great while, it'll still ping a little bit like that. But that's also how you know it's your intuition and not just your fear. Because you found your peace. So if it's pinging now, there's a reason for it. But if it's doing it all the time, then generally it has more to do with PTSD than intuition. Boy, the reading today has gone very deep in a lot of different directions. Not even really sure what to name this one. Breaking free. Sometimes it feels like no one is there. Sometimes it's so hard to fill my lungs with air. The tears flow freely down my face. Things only time can erase. Soon all the fog will fade. With it recedes the confusion made. Love is felt for you right here. It's on the other side of fear. Let your heart open wide and you'll start to notice all on your side. So, sometimes it really can feel like there's no one there. Sometimes it can feel so hard just to go on breathing every day. It can feel so fucking hard and grate on your nerves so bad to hear somebody tell you to be grateful. Because what the fuck is there to be grateful for? And I've been in that energy. But there's always something to be grateful for. And there are always people that have worse lives than us living on this earth every day. Like we were just talking about a little bit ago, the confusion is going to be fading away. The fog is going to be lifting. And you're no longer going to be being led by that PTSD or by that anxiety and fear-based thinking, but you're really going to be stepping more fully into your peace, into your faith, into your trust, into your love, your compassion, your empathy, your understanding, your kindness, your care. And you're going to be allowing yourself to put that part of you out there again. And you're going to be doing it in a more moderated way than you've been doing it in the past. Because there is a such thing as giving too much. And in the past, you might have thought that that meant you couldn't be yourself. But no, yourself was truly somebody who only had so much to give and had to keep some for you too. That's your most fullest, authentic self. Not a completely selfless martyr, but somebody who can give so much love, kindness, and care to the world because they care for themselves and love themselves and have kindness for themselves. I don't know which person drew this, but one of my friends at one point. You feel it? Fucking stunned, feeling different. Like, what in the hell is happening? You are definitely going to be feeling very stunned, blown away, completely just like, what is this? And where did this come from? And how did this even happen? Everything is different. Everything you're seeing, everything you're feeling, everything you're expressing, so much has changed that it's hard to believe where you came from and all the crazy that brought you this way to this very peaceful, calm energy that you're going to be coming into. And this peaceful, calm energy is going to be filled with chaos around you all the time, because there's always chaos around you all the time. What peace is being peaceful inside throughout all of the ups and downs of life, and not being able to be pulled and tugged and twisted and turned by every single thing that happens, but just being able to go with it. Like, yeah, man, this is cool. Like the turtle on Finding Nemo, that everybody knows is a pothead because he is. This candlestick card found me the other day. I don't know why I felt like I needed to point that out. But yeah, that candlestick card found me the other day. It's like all the clues are lining up in your life and you're starting to realize what was done, what was being done, what was felt, what you were going through, how defensive you were being in certain states, things like that. And you're really just starting to be more at peace with everything being exactly as it is. All the differences, all the beauty, all the changes and the circumstances, all the abundance and growth that you're going to start noticing and seeing around you, because there has been so much of it. If you look back on your life and yourself 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, damn, look at how far you've come. Be proud of that. Accept it, acknowledge it, celebrate it, love yourself, and see yourself in that high manner of vision. And also being at peace with your differences and the way that you really are. Somebody may actually be cooking up a plan to woo you, a plan to romance you, a plan to win you over. You may actually have somebody that ends up wanting to cook for you. You may end up going camping with someone, or someone may send you flowers. this peaceful, loving, beautiful, bright energy that you're coming into, and the way that you're expressing yourself so much more authentically with no worries, guilt, or shame. You're accepting every flaw that you have. If you look closely at this picture, boy, her eyes are a little messed up. You know, it kind of almost looks like she's got a little bit of a lazy eye there. And, you know, who cares? Who cares? It's not what's on the surface, but what's underneath that matters most. And even then, what's underneath is both going to be good and bad too. Everything has both good and bad. And you're accepting that, loving that, nourishing that, caring for that, and not caring what anybody else thinks about it anymore. Maybe even accepting more fully both the masculine and feminine parts of yourself. And knowing that there is somebody out there who is going to love you for all of those traits that are inside of you. Whether it be the calm, cool, collected, or the crazy, drama-filled person that's standing in front of you the next day. It's all a part of you. Hi, Sunflower. Nice to see you. Sunflowers were my dad's favorite flowers. He absolutely loved them. He had so many of them in his garden. Sunflowers, when it's cloudy out, will actually turn and face each other. I think they get sad without the sun, and so they give it to each other when they need it. You're going to be finding that there's going to be a lot more people willing. That's awesome. There's going to be a lot more people willing to give to you that love, that kindness, that beauty, because you are stepping more fully into yours and you're giving it away more freely instead of feeling like you have to hold it back because everybody's going to take advantage of it or use it or abuse it, which was a good thing when you did it because you had to do it. It was necessary to hold that back until you could figure out what the right moderated level to give at was, because you were being used and abused and hurt by your giving nature, which means you had to learn how to give a certain amount instead of giving everything away. And you also had to learn how to be that open and receptive person to others giving to you, because I feel like you were not okay with others giving to you so much as you were okay with you giving to them. And so that created that dynamic. As much as the other person created that dynamic, you did too. And so you're accepting more responsibility for that, more accountability for that. And instead of going into a situation expecting people to treat you with respect without actually telling them that you deserve it, without actually showing them that you deserve it, without telling them what is respect to you. RESPECT, find out what it means to me. The reason she says find out what it means to me is because it means something different to every person. Sweet dreams are made of these is the song that just came to mind too. Things unravel quickly. And what that message makes me think of is Aladdin. Things are unraveling quickly now. So Jafar just popped into my mind. If there is anybody who has any kind of plans against you to harm you or hurt you in any way, you are very protected, and all of those things are going to unravel very quickly. Give others credit. So for a while there, you might have actually held back on giving people credit to. Have you ever met that person that never compliments somebody, never tells them good job or anything like that? I mean, they're a pretty nice person, but at the same time, it's like they refuse to give their power away by telling somebody, hey, you did a really good job, because somehow it's going to make them less to say something. There could have been times where you were feeling that way, where you weren't complimenting people when you felt like you should be complimenting people. And you're going to be more freely giving those compliments now. When you see somebody in a gas station, you're like, wow, her hair is fucking awesome. Do you say it? Do you go up to her and be like, hey, your hair is beautiful? Or do you hide that away? Do you think that's going to create something bad in your life to express that? No. That's going to create something beautiful and phenomenal in your life, because you're giving beautiful and phenomenal things away to other people. And that's going to come back to you. So in your daily life, make sure that you're doing that you're giving credit where credit is due. True character is revealed. Fraud is uncovered. Private eye. So there could actually be somebody doing some investigating, or somebody could have hired somebody to do some investigating. You might be doing that yourself. Whatever the case is, somebody's going to go looking and they're going to uncover the lies that have been told and the fraud that has been buried. And credit is going to be being given due where it is deserved. Credit for the bad and credit for the good is going to be being revealed. Emotional fight. Love. This is going to be an emotional fight for you to be able to bring peace to this situation, learn new things, for you to be able to bring peace to yourself as well. There is definitely going to be a lot of an emotional battle. You've been going through a lot of an emotional battle for a while now, I feel like, and it's been something that's been very hard. But throughout this emotional battle, your true character has been being revealed too, and other people's true character has been being revealed. You have withstood the flames. You have withstood the fire. You have been able to come out the other side. No worse for wear, and in fact, more intelligent, more battle-hardened and ready, and more vulnerable and open, more loving, more giving. At the end of the day, your heart was not changed by the things you went through in the most core and valuable way. It was changed in a way to make sure that you are important too, but not to destroy others. You will be supported on your path. What are your dreams telling you? So if you have a love situation going on in your life, what are your dreams telling you? Some sort of fraud may actually be being uncovered about a past love situation as well, and something that may actually confirm the dreams that you had about that situation or the intuitive nudges that you had about it. Also, what are your dreams telling you as far as your dreams hold a purpose, they hold a meaning. If you believe something can happen, if you really want something, if you really feel like this would be a dream come true, then trust it to be a dream come true. Not all dreams end in beautiful ways, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't follow them, because there was still a point behind them. Your connection with the spiritual realm will be growing. And see, as I was saying, there could definitely be dreams that you have been having as well that have bearing on everything that's going on in your situation. So listen to those dreams. I do actually offer dream interpretations as well in my services that you can purchase. You can find information on that in the description box below. Speeches. The first thing that popped into my mind was my speech is my recital. I think it's very vital to rock a rhyme that's right on time. So It's Tricky by Run DMC may be important in some sort of way. I went to her house to bust her out. We had to leave real early. Blurred Lines, the song Blurred Lines may be important as well. Somebody could have really tried to tame you, tried to break you, tried to morph you into what they wanted you to be, tried to control you. There may have been somebody very possessive, controlling, demanding in your life, overly critical, overly analytical, just overbearing. And I feel like you have broken free from this and found peace. And there may even be a way to make peace in this situation as well, because this could be somebody that you are connected to for a long time, whether you like it or not. Something about your speeches as well is something that is really going to be supported in this lifetime. The things that you have to put out there, the knowledge and wisdom that you have to share with others, is something that is definitely calling to you. You will have all that you need, and you will trust in it. You will have all that you need, and you will trust in it. So know that as you go through this time period of darkness, it is bringing you to a state of being able to be open and receptive for everything that you desire and want and dream of coming true to come true. But going through all of these things is what was necessary to be able to heal the last of those triggers and trust issues and hurts and pains from the past, so that you can let them go and so that you can trust in the new door when it opens up to you, instead of running away from it, or instead of sabotaging it, or instead of chasing it. You're going to be able to trust it and go with the flow. Understanding is dawning now. Reality is setting in. Fake friends. Understanding of the fake friends that were around you, of the dreams that you may have had of people who betrayed you, things like that, of the things that they were hiding. You're definitely going to be getting some clarity on just how strong your spiritual gifts are, and your spiritual gifts are continuing to grow at this point too, because when we start working on them, that's when they really start to grow and progress and turn into something more, when we start working on them and trusting in them. And you're going to be getting a lot of things in the near future that are going to let you know that you can trust in everything that you have thought was going on. Intuitive proof, yeah. So you only had intuitive proof in the past, maybe even for some of the speeches that you made. But all of the real proof is going to be coming out, because you're going to be having what you need. And there may actually be some sort of investigating that goes on that helps you to uncover or unbury what you need to know, so that you can have the proof that you need. Your actions are bringing success. And I also feel like understanding for why there were these people around you is also coming in. Because sometimes it's hard to have closure without the understanding of why. But you have been led to create that closure inside of your life, whether you have a reason for it or not, whether you have an understanding of it or not, whether you even know for sure or not what happened and why. You needed to let it go and forgive it, so that when it all does come out, and it really was true, you do not react the way that you reacted when you found out originally, because you've let it all go at this point. You've forgiven it all, and now it can be dealt with from a calm, rational, centered, and balanced point, especially since you know it led you to the good things that you are coming into as well. Sometimes people need different things. Look at what you're needing. Are there those around you morphing to fit it, or do you do that too? Wow, we just talked about that. To some, this is empathetic. To some, it comes off as enabling. To some, it seems narcissistic. They say higher levels of seeking validations from outside of yourself and trying to fill a need for others is correlated to higher levels of narcissism, because you want that recognition, you want that success, you want that validation. It's about you when you're doing that. It's less about that person. When you're doing things because you want to, and you're doing things because you care about it, and you're doing things because that's who you are, that's not about what you can get from this person. Stop yourself and others from being everything that everyone else needs all the time. Sometimes it is good, but too much of anything isn't good. So being able to pick up on what people need is a good thing. But turning that into providing what they need every single time is not necessarily a good thing for yourself or for others, and vice versa. When they do that, that's not a good thing. It breeds toxicity. It breeds inauthenticity. It breeds more of a I will not be loved for who I am type of attitude, instead of a I can be myself and be loved type of attitude. You may not feel comfortable talking to your parents about certain aspects of yourself, but they already know. They love you and they have possibly already defended your name on this to others. If you confided into someone, they may have taken or they may have talked and said something very biased or judgmental about you. Your parent may even feel at fault for their beliefs if it's a sibling. So, stop feeling like you need validation from yourself or from others for yourself. Your parents don't need to love every action you take or every move that you make. Neither does your partner. Neither do your friends. Neither do your family. Neither does anybody else in the world. And nobody will love everything you do all the time, every second of every day anyway. And sometimes that makes you feel very uncomfortable, anxious, nervous about expressing your truth and who you are and stating what needs to be said. It keeps you from being you. When you worry about what other people think or how they feel or what their opinion is. My mom, which is really funny because, she's never seemed very homophobic throughout my lifetime. After all, when my older sister Amber was like 22, all in the same day, my mom, my grandmother, and my brother-in-law all asked her if she was gay. And if she was gay, it's okay. You don't need to worry about anything. We would love you anyways. She wasn't, but nobody had ever seen her with a boyfriend of any kind or even having a crush on anybody or anything like that because she kept everything very, very, very private. My other sister, on the other hand, she had a lot of boyfriends growing up. And she married a guy, that's my brother-in-law. And he may have asked that sister if she was gay, but he didn't ask his wife. After 18 years of marriage, she left him for a woman. And my mom swore up and down that it was all because she had her hysterectomy. She ended up having to have a hysterectomy, and she swore up and down that that's why she all of a sudden liked women. No, Mom, she's been gay her whole life. On my 21st birthday, she was asking me about my tongue ring and how you use it when you're going down on a guy. And I was like, you've had your tongue pierced longer than me. What are you talking about? You don't know how to use it? And she's like, I don't really like doing that. You should have known. You don't like sucking dick? What do you think here? But yeah. My mom has some very warped opinions sometimes, or she's like, okay, I get gay and I get lesbian, but what's with bisexual? I mean, at that point, you might as well fuck anything. They'd be willing to fuck a hole in a fence. Mom, no. To me, if you want to get honest, that one might even be less shallow because it doesn't matter what body parts they have. It's just the person inside those body parts. Thank you, beautiful. She had a little evil laugh going when she did it too. It was pretty cute. Although she probably wouldn't like me to say it was cute. Your bubbly energy is so amazing and pure. You are loved by so many. You may feel like you are hated by many, but under that hate is love, in ourselves and in others. Focus on the love and remember, all of us have felt hate, pain, fear, hurt, and every other emotion at some point. Never put up with abuse, but always focus on the love. Tough love is love too. It hurts less in the long run on both sides. If you don't want others to become what they hate, then don't allow them to hurt you while being honest about how what they do makes you feel. But not judgmental. Because that judgmental energy will make them lie about it more. It will make them defend themselves more. It will make them lash out more. And honestly, that judgmental energy stems from somewhere because we can't be judging others unless we're judging ourselves, and then we project that onto others. So you got to ask yourself where the judgments are coming from too when it comes to interacting with other people around you. and whether or not those are necessary or whether those are creating more problems. I didn't really feel like we were going to make it through the whole pile of messages over there. We usually don't. I usually get stuck on tangents longer, I guess. So, once again, if anybody wants to donate or purchase a question, you can find, well, actually not purchase a question because I'm going to be ending this out in 15 minutes. If you get it in right now, you might get a chance. But if you want to be able to donate, you can find my links for PayPal and Cash App in the description box below. And I truly appreciate that. Or anybody that likes, shares, comments, subscribes, anything like that. Thank you guys. So we're going to grab a couple more messages and a couple more pictures, and we're going to do a closeout message for this reading. Sorry about that. I went to move on my seat more and the whole seat moved. Anyway. You're really becoming more at peace with your natural self and just who you are. Your vibes are rising. They're on the rise. You are going over this, the song that's coming to mind right now. Like a bridge over troubled waters, I will lay me down. So you are definitely just laying your swords down and taking up the armor of faith. No longer looking to fight anymore or to feel like you have to survive or to feel like everyone's out to get you. You just don't even care anymore. Even if there are people out to get you, you're just going to be in this very peaceful state, this calm energy of, I know that everything that's meant to happen is happening. And I'm okay with everything that's happening the way that it is. And everything's just going to play out naturally. And I'm good. I am doing fine. I'm doing great. I am feeling good. I am hopeful and energetic and positive, and everything is going exactly as it's meant to be going. There's a whole world in front of me that I can explore at any time. And if I feel like I need a change in my life, I can make that change. And if I feel like everything's going good, then I'm just going to enjoy everything that's going good. And there's just a lot of changes going on within yourself. You may also be spending a lot more time playing with your pets, things like that. Things like that really raise your vibrations as well. And there's going to be a lot more people noticing you too. I feel like there's going to be a lot more people looking at you. There's definitely going to be some sort of reaching out and some sort of reconciliations going on in certain situations in your life where you or others have sabotaged it and hurt it. There's going to be peace coming in, abundance and growth coming in. All of the emotions are going to be being released, and everything's really going to be feeling like you're just on cloud nine, like you're crossing this bridge up here over in the clouds, just feeling good about life and everything in general. Cancer. You're going to really be stepping into that caretaking energy much more again. And it's going to be a different energy than it was in the past, so you have nothing to be afraid of because you're no longer going to be the doormat. You're going to be the door. Instead of being the doormat, you're going to be the door. You're going to be the opening. You're going to be the portal. Your beauty is going to be shining brightly. Your giving, your compassion, your empathy, your ability to be vulnerable and open, your ability to show all the beautiful and amazing things going on inside of yourself to the world outside of you is something that is really going to be creating a lot of dramatic shifts and changes in your life. It's also reminding me of Llama Llama. Llama Llama is not your mama, or something like that. So you're no longer going to be everybody's mom, but you are going to care for everybody with love. Feast or famine. You've been in famine for a long time, but a beautiful feast is coming in for you. Your table will be set in front of your enemies, and you will be able to sit at it and have this beautiful feast. But are you going to keep this beautiful feast to yourself, or share it to the world and show others how to do the same next time they have a feast, instead of keeping it all to themselves, selfishly and greedily? Abracadabra, bee. So I really, Half-Baked was one of my more favorite shows when I was younger. And Abracadabra, bee